And it's not only athletics. You know, we love athletics because we have the Kalenjin community that runs very fast. If they would strike and they say they are not going to participate, then our pride would die. If that would be the kind of spirit that Kenyans have. Kenyans should train themselves to exercise some form of patriotism. It's not only in politics, even in sports. When I see Kipyegon running, I forget that I forget that there is anything to do with the political differences that that exist, and you support because the pride and when you send your emojis and the flags, it shows patriotism. When you see the rugby guys performing super. The rugby ladies are performing, I mean, now beyond standards.
I support
you see,
that.
The fact that they are performing well, we don't have to support them because they're supporting well. We support them
even
because
when
when they started. I remember the day they declared that we are going to have a female rugby team, rugby league, as a matter of fact. Some of us were jittery, but I said, okay, let's wait and see. But nothing is impossible because I've seen it in Europe and in the US. They are playing this game. I mean, especially Europe. Now, when this thing is happening and we're trying to adapt something like this, I think it's for us to exercise patriotism, even when watching kabaddi. Not only football, kabaddi. Volleyball. I used to play volleyball to international standards, and I can tell you that with my team, General Motors East Africa, we did wonders. We learned so many things, and some of the principles we were able to learn is that if you enter into the match. Football is 90 minutes. Volleyball used to be 5 sets. So just go there with the mindset. We are out there for the 3 sets. We are out there to win, but not participating. And that is why I get so angry when I see coaches who are actually given an opportunity to address. We have had our volleyball team participating in the World Cup for over 20 years now. And the best we can get from our coaches as a commentary that before departure is that last time we won 3 sets. What were you talking about? Those are people who are supposed to be left behind. I'm supposed to go with those ladies and tell them Brazil are ladies 5 feet, 6 feet tall, just like you. Find the good thing that you can sell that is in our women. The strength. You see what we are doing with our muscles, the Luo muscles in the rugby game. It's so appeasing and appealing at the same time.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
They're doing pretty well, and I'm telling you, today there was a time we used to think that African sports guys are so rigid and stiff. We didn't know how to fake, even in football, to fake fouls. Now we know how to fake fouls. We know how to dribble. We know how to play carpet game. We are playing this kind of a thing. This is now the Harambee Stars I'm talking about.
Yes.
Gone are days when we were nowhere. But remember, just the other day, we beat Ghana. The other day, we beat Mali. We beat Ethiopia. We beat teams like, Namibia. We Zimbabwe,
We've been placed in a group, and I know...
Don't worry about the group.
I know Scoreboard are going to talk about this, Akina Mike, Emmanuel, and the rest. Kenya has been placed in a group probably whereby it's a group of death. Kenya is in that group. Kenya is a pygmy. We will lose.
So when Brazil played Germany,
yes,
who was the underdog among them?
Brazil, Germany.
Yes.
Maybe Germany.
And how come Germany beat them 7-0?
It's true, it happens.
You can wake up. It
doesn't happen every day.
It doesn't happen every day. And that one day is when we were saying that Germany has got a very young team. Brazil has a very experienced team. They had the Ronaldo, the Ronaldinho, whoever. They had all these guys. And this new team that was being introduced. What we do with the energies of a new team is that you go there with nothing to lose. You always celebrate every victory. And every victory is in every match. Even coming to politics, we are celebrating every step. So even when we get angry, we still remember we have a constitution, a better constitution that allows us to amend a few things, 1, 2, 3, and we are able to have a better country with better governance if the leadership would adapt that. That is now shifting from sports into politics, and the bottom line, patriotism.
Patriotism is very key, and I think the state has a role to play in making people proud of their country. In this sense, if you listen to an American talking about their country, they will tell you about how great the country is, and they will tell you there's no country like the USA. When an American citizen finds himself in problem, the US government proves why the citizenry should be proud of their country. I mean, it does not hold back any resources. They will come for you, or at least make effort so that the entire world knows you don't mess up, you don't mess with the Americans. We've had, take for instance Mwabili. Mwabili was abducted in TZ, and he was tortured. He's not the first person who's been abducted. The Boniface Mwangis of this world, they were in Tanzania, they were abducted, they were harassed, they were tortured. Look at the response of the government towards this. And it does not inspire a lot of self-love for the people, because you know, if I disappear, I am on my own. But with the Americans, you disappear, they will look for you. You know they will do everything. So patriotism comes out of, it's a relationship. I love my country. I really do love my country.
If our leadership would express the kind of love they express during campaigns, and choose to stick to that course, then every life would matter. If would be so patriotic enough to become adherent to the Constitution that relishes the existence of any life, right from conception, then we would have a reason to protect and defend each other. It would be an issue when we hear an abduction has taken place in Kenya, and torture takes place in Tanzania, then dumped in Kenya, whether they're working in cahoots. If that's kind of a collusion, then it means somebody is downtrodden the sovereignty of this country. And what it does, it kills, it kills the desire to love your country, to support your country. I've had many youths saying, "Hey, nikapata njia kwenda nje, I'll just go out.
You'll go and
forget about it and forget about Kenya." But I keep telling them that Kenya remains your country. You might go there after a few years, you still remember that there's something that is that you cannot detach yourself from, which is where your ancestry lies, and the history itself is there. So some way, somehow, you will find reasons why you should do that, because you've now mingled with other people who are coming from countries you never expected that would be the best. And then you realize that those countries you thought they are the best, they're the ones who are hating it, and they're actually working hard to run away from their countries. The other day we had Canadians running away from their country because of tax, high taxation, while Kenyans were running into Canada. Because of just a slight increase of their income. And this is the kind of a thing, when you get out there, then you were able to see put one and one together, then you do some bit of evaluation, then you get to understand why you need to love your own country. And that's why I'm saying that where we stand right now, I don't know why we have stooped so low to play the Tanzanian game, which has a very weak constitution.
Tanzania is not democratic.
It has a very weak constitution, as a matter of fact, because they are still in our Kenya's so-called dark days during Moi and Kenyatta, where you could be arrested for thinking, for assuming that you are thinking something would happen to a head of state. I mean, we had gotten to that kind of level of stupidity and madness, I would say so. But now we're out of it. But we can still get back to that one if we choose not to think progressively. They were not the best of times. So I think with the new constitution that we have, if the government would now exercise that, then every life would matter. We have the best of judicial system. They could
and precedents have been set,
use the correct procedure of the law and arrest the person. Let the person have his say as per our constitution in the Bill of Rights. Article 49, 50, I think, it talks about your rights even during arrest and even in jail. So what you're saying is that these are the kind of things that we should be doing. But when we become, when we abscond the law, when we ignore the law, when we despise the law, even the ones who are supposed to protect the constitution by swearing before man and God, don't think God is a man that you should mock. Any statement we make in public with our tongue can either become a curse to us or a blessing to us, depending on the attitude behind it.
Yes, I'm actually glad that yesterday President William Ruto, our president, basically corrected some of the things that had been said by his CSS on the education sector.
What did he correct?
He just said
on the rooftop of his his vehicle.
He said
that's just a statement. Who signed? Who accented to the finance bill 2025? It must have been highlighted that we are going to slash money from this side, this department, that department, and put it on the other side. All this they were privy to, because there were parliamentary committees that sat before it to scrutinize the proposals in the yet to be presented proposed budget. Then you discuss it in the plenary, then present it, and it was accented. The reduction of the capitation, the finance minister is not just speaking out of the blues.
Yes.
He's speaking from the inside of the cabinet.
Yes.
You get the point? So that roadside declaration does not give anyone any confidence.
But at least now Kenyans have words that they can hold him accountable to.
I'm not being misogynistic when I say Kenyans are not all women to be played around or twisted around to get married or to be won. When you make a good declaration and the signature was appended for 2025-26, the expenditure, then I really truly don't understand. Let it happen on paper. Let's see this story in Parliament, and then do the amendments in Parliament, not on the roadside.
Because
whatever he has said is already passed.
They've been passed.
It is passed in the finance bill, that education will get this amount, security will get this amount, police will get this amount. All that is what the president signed for. So when he makes a roadside declaration, is to the ignorant.
So what you're saying, we should not take seriously what he has said
until the amendment has been done by Parliament. Media has been highlighting this, that hey, why reduce 5,000 shillings? Why the extravagance in this empowerment thing? The other day we saw it's only 64 shillings that is being subdivided among women.
Yeah, so
others were getting 2,000 shillings, maybe in Mount Kenya. But when you went to places like Rift Valley, I think it's Rift Valley or Kisii, it was 64 shillings. So what I'm trying to say here is, the millions that are circulating, cannot really lift any life that is feeling, downtrodden. Why don't you have this kind of money shifted to bolster what has been cut off from the capitation amount of 22,000 shillings? You take it down to 16,000. Why don't you just say the 10-20 billion be given to the education sector and see how you can improve it? Why don't you use those 10-20 billion shillings to ensure that you're decongesting hospitals, where people are sharing beds and they are sick with contagious diseases, either airborne or any other way? These are the kind of minds we would be expecting our parliament to be debating about.
I'm actually just speaking on what you said. I had a conversation with some individuals yesterday, and I was being told, despite the fact that, and I keep on saying this, I've benefited from SHIF and SHA, and I was talking to this individual, and they told me some of the people who are seriously fighting SHA are people from the private sector, private hospitals, and they gave an example of one of the major hospitals in the country that had told the SHA that they have a 600 bed capacity, yet when SHA officials visited there, the hospital only has 300 beds. So they have upped this with 300, so that once they hit the target, they will still go on and claim money from SHA, thereby robbing the taxpayer. So if we can correct this, and I think probably SHA has been getting a very bad rapport because of the people also who are speaking about it.
Let me tell you, with the health department, we have different approaches to, tap where corruption is actually taking place. The day they introduced the private hospital, the private section in a public hospital is when theft began to take place.
No, but theft had been taking place before then, Mureithi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you talk about a place like Kenyatta Hospital, it's supposed to be getting, medicine, maybe at a very subsidized price, cost that is from the KEMSA, and all equipments supplied by the government via the ministry. But when you have now the private sector, you have that machine, maybe the CT scan. And the person who gets a priority, first priority, is the person who has come through the Doctor's Plaza. And any time you hear Doctor's Plaza, either in Nairobi Hospital or Kenyatta or wherever, those are dens of corruption. Because a hospital is a place for people who are suffering certain ailments. They are all sick, and there is no moneyed sickness and the less moneyed sickness or the poor sickness. If it's cancer, it's cancer.
Yeah, true.
If it's a headache, it's a headache. And the treatment accorded to these two bodies is supposed to be equal and the same. So when we talk about equality as a constitutional right,
it's not possible to be to get the service delivery in the same way, because
it is possible.
Even if you look at developed countries, if you have money,
allow me to explain to you.
You are able to afford different.
Allow me to explain to you the worst bit of the Doctor's Plaza thing. You go there, you pay for a CT scan, 400,000 or 300,000. But like when I had a patient there, the NHIF is paying 100,000. Those are the charges, for actually an MRI. But the same MRI in the Doctor's Plaza, you pay 300,000, 400,000 so that you can get it fast. Now what happens? Anyone who comes through the public finds the machine jammed up. But anyone comes through this other side is treated. Somehow the machine is operational. That kind of corruption can only be dealt with if we do away with that private hospital in the public hospital, because
you're saying the reason why we are facing this is because a private hospital, a private wing has been placed at a public hospital.
Thank you. And when it comes to obtaining medication, is getting at a very exiguous fee that is supposed to be charged for the public to make it affordable.
Do the people at the private hospital at KNH, and maybe we'll bring that guy here, do the people at the private sector in private section in KNH get different treatment in terms of the doctors and that kind of stuff?
Private public hospital depends on public finances. Depends on what comes from the government. So if a machine has been provided by the government, if medication has been purchased by government at a very small price at KEMSA, then you come and charge it 3 times, 4 times, same from the shelf, from the pharmacy of the same hospital, simply because you come with a receipt from the doctor's plaza.
Yes.
I mean, those are things that should change. Okay?
Because
what I'm trying to say is this person is charging 4 times, this is charging 4 times, yet this person did not buy this medicine at market price. He bought it at the poor man's budget, the one which is set for every Kenyan.
Buyer beware, caveat emptor, buyer beware. I mean, it's a willing buyer, willing seller. You come to my private hospital, and I will charge you because you want to get different treatment.
Places
you come to my public hospital, that's where every Tom, Dick and Harry, everybody else is there.
Places like Kenyatta National Hospital is a public hospital.
Sorry?
It's a public hospital.
It's a public hospital with a private wing.
No. It was introduced, and I'm saying that's where corruption takes place. It was introduced. It was meant for any Kenyan who has been referred to Kenyatta Hospital receive treatment. As per the law of, what do you call it? Is it the standard medical, emergency standard medical treatment or something?
Yes.
There's that law that everybody must be received equally and be offered treatment, equally, because that is the work of Kenyatta National Hospital. Now, when it becomes that there's a private wing, that if I don't pay the 300,000 there, I don't get the treatment even on time, and you have a dying patient in your hands. These are the kind of, don't talk to the officials, talk to Kenyans. Find Kenyans. They will tell you what they have been going through with their patients, And that's what I'm saying. This is something that should change today. If the section in Kenyatta Hospital, the other side, under construction is completed, then it will be a private hospital, not a public hospital. Private hospital funded with public module, But it's supposed to be for public people who are coming from the level 2 all the way to, to level 7 of Kenyatta Hospital. So what I'm trying to say is that this is the kind of corruption we need to deal with. If we love Kenyans, then let's respect Kenyans and respect them and offer them the services that is needful. So when we come to the education sector, it was so painful to hear the president speak yesterday. That
at least that was good.
That do not worry. I'm saying it doesn't go on paper.
Yes.
It has his signature. His signature can only be rescinded if it was revoked, if it was to go through parliament again via some amendment and then have this correction. But he only said, we don't worry. Go to primary schools right here, and you will see them closing school earlier than the prescribed date. According to the schedule they are provided. Why? Because there is no money to sustain.
They've actually warned that if this persists, next time they'll be forced to
charge some fee.
To charge the parents' school fees.
And who are we talking about? Is it parents in Riara school? And I'm not being discriminative. Is it parents in Makini or Sunrise or such big schools?
No.
It's parents in Donum Primary, Kayole Primary, Kawangware Primary School, Dr. Livingstone, Rabbi, all this kind of school, Martin Luther. You're denying them their right. So where is equity in terms of resource distribution? This sweet talk is not taking us anywhere.
And probably the conversation this country should have, we keep on talking about the national cake and how it's been divided, but very few people will talk about how to cook this cake, because Luo Nyanza has a lake, and it's a fresh lake, the biggest in East, I think in Africa.
Yeah.
Then it has fish. The processing farm of that fish is done in Thika. It's owned by somebody from that region, from Luo Nyanza, but it's in Thika instead of being in Kisumu.
Yeah.
So you're left wondering, you have to drive all that fish from there all the way to Thika so that it can be distributed to the people. I'm talking about the different resources that each part of this country has be developed so that all the counties or regions in this country are giving forth intentionally to the exchequer.
You see, Fred, gone are days when, like I said, when I used to play volleyball, we used to, move around this country. You know, you could find us in a tournament in whatever province. But there's one statement that struck me. When I asked these guys, it was in the early 90s, why do we have vehicles parked outside mud houses?
Mud
houses, grass-thatched mud houses.
Yes.
That was in the 90s. And thank God for the 2010 Constitution,
yes,
where we introduced the counties. Culturally, you'd get bewitched if you put up a mabati on your roof,
yes,
especially in some Luya areas.
Yes.
They would say, "Nani wananichoma macho,"
yeah,
and that would be the end of you. Gone are days when the Luo rich guys were leaving their vehicles in Kisumu town and then bought the local transportation and dress shabbily so
as
that
they go to their
as
home.
they go there, so that you don't see their status changed or blessed.
Fear of being bewitched.
That's culture. It's a cultural setback that used to be there before the Constitution.
Yes.
I was explaining that after the Constitution, the county money, the counties that have expended their money properly have opened up people. They began to see, I think, if the county would do a factory here, like other counties, because it has opened up,
yes,
the media, the media space has actually expanded. Because most of the media houses came up after the 2010. The social media platform is now enlightening people. Now they're beginning to ask themselves this question. They're beginning to see, I think, and you see, with the improvement on
yes,
on the road transport. Conversing from one corner of the country to the city is allowing some of them, upon interaction with other communities, because yes, Nairobi is a cosmopolitan city, Nakuru cosmopolitan, people are able to understand, oh, okay, so if we choose to perceive things this way, then it becomes easier for us. That's how come when we were dealing with things like AIDS, eventually it became no, we'll have to abolish cultural marriage, yes, blah 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 blah, because it doesn't work elsewhere. We'll have to reshape our thinking, and kudos to the former Prime Minister, because he was very influential in dealing with this and introducing circumcision, many other things. Not that being circumcised adds you anything much, but in dealing with what really caused AIDS to spread, uncontrollably in such regions is because of such things. Now, what I'm trying to say is not just circumcision. I'm talking about development itself. Today, Kisumu is a city to admire. In East Africa,
very beautiful.
Today, Nakuru is a beautiful city to admire. Other cities which are coming up, Machakos, they are growing. Yeah? So what I'm trying to say is that with the introduction of the county, if accountability would actually be experienced, with the likes of what is going on in Homa Bay with Gladys Wanga, Rungu Kangata in Muranga, places which were remote, and today they're actually rising.
Really come up.
The expansion of Embu Town, it tells you there's some business. Embu Town used to occupy the road, it was just a highway passing through, and there were shops on this side, on the other side, and it was a district, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that even people themselves, they began to open up in terms of investment.
Yes.
They begin to break the ceilings, break the cocoons they are in. They have been bound in either by culture or whatever. Sisi watu wa Embu kama watu wa Nyeri wamekaribia Nairobi or something like that. Ama masomo ilifika huko mapema, all these things.
Yes.
Today, going to Meru, do business and come back to Nairobi, I mean, it's easy peasy. Yes. Anywhere, you know.
Because the road networks have been done, so many things have been done.
And I think this kind of improvement is what we're trying now to load, knowing too well that if we continue without too much politicking, because you see,
politicking is the biggest hindrance in Kenya.
Yes, like when you see the county leadership now quiet, it's because maybe there's a file somewhere.
Yes.
So that person will not be accountable to the people, will be accountable to the system and the leaders of the system who are actually doing this. But I think it's time, like we said, if we are patriotic enough, we would not really praise the Americans or praise whoever, because they are not anything to praise so much. Because when they come to countries like Libya and they cause the damage they cause Iraq and any other country, it is not something for us to praise. But when they go back home, that's the international policy they are working on. But when they go back home, they find reasons why they should say they should justify why we had to do that. You know. But in Kenya, that's not the case.
Yes.
We need to love ourselves, we need to love the sovereignty of this country, and we need to be patriotic.
Well said, because the world is changing and changing fast, and I guess it's because Jesus is coming back soon. So many things are changing. We are seeing people now reclaiming their mental independence from influences from outside. And I guess as a country, we need to get to that point whereby we reclaim and take that mental, we break away from mental slavery. Mental slavery is horrible because it makes you act, demean yourself for the sake of another person. That should not happen in our country. I got to bring down the curtains on this show. I'm seeing time is spent, Mureithi. So whatever you do, remember first and foremost, you're a child of God. That's the first thing. Then you're a Kenyan, second thing. Then you're whatever else you are. Your tribe, your profession, all those things. But first and foremost, you're a child of God, then a Kenyan.
Sure.
So think Kenyan before you start thinking about your tribe. Do have yourself a lovely morning. Remember, at 2 p.m., some of the things that Mureithi was telling us about sports will be put to the test. Akina Mike, Emmanuel, and the team, Rogers, who are going to look at some of these things and tell us whether, do we have a prayer in this?
Yes, we can.
Mureithi Muito says, yes, we can. Let's see how far we'll go in it. You never know, I might just change. I might just decide to support it. Wanasemanga kufa dereva, kufa makanga. Tuanguke nao wote.
Anguka nayo, tutaamka nayo.
So do have yourself a lovely morning.
Sure.